Some of you all right now have people that are currently in your pathway with your journey called life, and you're wondering, what is wrong with this person? You know, they've had meetings about this person's behavior. They've recommended therapy for this person. You have done so many things, and not just you, probably other people, to try to figure out what the heck is wrong with this person. This person just keeps on keeping on with their crap, right? Well, this video will break all that down. Even if you're not around those kind of people, if you ever wonder why those people were the way they were, they're not in your life now, but if those people were in your past, this video is for you also. Let's start off with some scripture first, right? This scripture is so powerful, and it does go over many people's heads. We're going to come out of the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 43 to 45. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Now they're talking about the unclean spirit. Then the unclean spirit saith, I will return into my house, which is the host, from whence I came out. And when the unclean spirit is come, it findeth it empty and swept and garnished. Then the unclean spirit goeth and taketh with himself or itself 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of the host, which is that man or woman, is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Here's another scripture that breaks it down even further. We're going to come out of the book of Luke, chapter 11, verses 24 through 26. When an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes through arid places seeking rest, and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house swept, clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. And the final condition of that person is worse than the first. To further deepen the topic, I even asked Google AI overview the breakdown of the metaphor, one spirit leaving and returning with 7 more. It is basically a metaphor described in Matthew chapter 12 and Luke chapter 11 that we just read not too long ago. It illustrates a principle that if someone tries to free themselves from a bad habit or negative influence represented by the unclean spirit without addressing the root cause, they might find themselves worse off than before. The 7 other spirits symbolize a deeper, more destructive level of the same negative influence. So basically, the scriptures that I brought out today, basically Matthew chapter 12 and Luke chapter 11, tells you the reason why when you try to reason with certain people, or you thought you gave them a solution, sometimes they end up getting worse, is because they haven't addressed the root cause of why they are the way they are, or they keep trying to ignore it, or those spirits got them running back to it all the time. And really, it's not your fault. You got to understand, some people, you just have to see them as they are. They're going to deal with that unless they address the root cause and actually stand up for themselves and do what is right. They're going to constantly struggle. There's a term says, the truth shall set you free. Let's look at that real quick. So I also took the liberty of taking a screenshot of the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free is a proverb that in essence means embracing the truth regardless of its potential discomfort ultimately leads to liberation and freedom. It signifies that truth can liberate individuals from the bondage of lies, deception, and the burdens of guilt or fear that result from hiding or denying the truth. Now, I understand that, people have battled certain vices in this world, and that's okay, but you have to be real with yourself. If you know it's causing you a lot of destruction in your life, you have to make a change. You have to take a stand. Otherwise, those unclean spirits are going to come and bring 7 more wicked spirits. But if you know that you can't reason with a person, it's because There's an unclean spirit that you try to cast out. It brought 7 more back. And now that person is in a worse condition than before. I'm sure many of y'all have seen it many times. And at that point, it doesn't matter what you say. Unless they fight through it and actually address the root cause, they're just going to get worse and worse. All right? Some people you just can't reason with. You can't help them. They have to help themselves. Only the truth will set them free. And if they continue to deny the truth, then those unclean spirits are going to have their way with them. All right? I hope y'all enjoy the message.